Hi, I'm Karen Russell, and we're at the Yoga NoHo Center in North Hollywood, California. I'm here with Kristen Carmela, who did her teacher training here, and we're going to go over the posture child's pose, Balasana. And this is one of those postures that we probably do every day in our yoga classes. It's a great way to end your class, start your class, in the middle of your class if you need to rest. However, though, it can be a lot on the knees and the hips. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because sometimes there's a lot of classes that will start in child's pose, but people have tight hips. They're not warmed up yet. There's a couple ways of doing child's pose. So we're going to first just do the traditional child's pose with the knees together, feet together. She's going to inhale and exhale, forward fold, bringing her hands behind her. So this was one of the original child's pose. But like I said, there's a lot of lineages of yoga, different styles of yoga. Sometimes this is easier on people, especially if their hips are tight, right? Complete relaxation. Now, though, some people maybe not be able to reach the floor, their head with their floor, so Kristen's going to take a block and put it right underneath her forehead. And notice that the block has different levels. So there's a higher level, a medium level, and a lower level. So just find out what level works for you. If you don't have blocks, I suggest that you get blocks. It will be very helpful for your practice. So child's pose, you inhale and exhale, relax deeply into child's pose. This is a great posture if you're doing a practice and you need to rest. You can do your Ujjayi breathing. And then as you inhale, you'll come out of the posture, so maybe place the hands down, inhale and come out. So let me just talk for one moment about the importance of going in and out of your postures. So remember that the transitions of going in and out of your posture is just as important as the posture. And we'll talk more about that with some of the more difficult postures. It's really important to keep that energy through every movement. So your breath, the stacking of your joints, everything you would do in the end result of the posture, you move through. So even this simple posture as Balasana, child's pose, I made sure that she had her hands down, inhale and came up, right? So coming out of it is just as important. Now let's do another child's pose. This is widening the hips a little bit. So toes to touch, knees wide to the side. Yep. And moving all the way down. So that's another option of child's pose. Now she's very limber, so she's able to get her sit bones to her heels. She's able to do a nice wide child's pose, but not everybody's built like that, and that's okay. So Kristen's going to show you that if you have tight hips or you want to alleviate a little pressure of the knees bending, she's going to grab her bolster and she's going to put it behind, honey, in between. Lift up your thighs. Yes. Now, she was going to put it in front. That's not a bad idea either. That's more of a restorative. But the way she's sitting now, the bolster gives her more space. So it's lifting the hips up, and relieving some of that extra flexion in the knees. They're not as bent. And she can then take a block and put it on her forehead. So if you feel tight, you can definitely put a bolster. Sometimes people put 2 bolsters. And what's going to happen is as you practice more and more, you're going to get a little more limber, right? But let's not get caught up in your end result of your practice. A practice is daily, and it's not just physical. Mind, body, spirit, right? And you can make your child's pose more active. She can root her fingers into the earth, lift the palms up, draw the shoulders on the back, so you can make it more active. You can actually reach to the right, so move to the right. You can actually reach over to the right and stretch your side ribs in child's pose, Balasana. And then you go to the other side. So that is another point when you are doing your practice. If you do your practice a certain way on one side of the body, make sure you do the same way on the other side. It might not feel the same, but try to even out your practice. And then back to center. Inhaling and exhaling Ujjayi. You can place the energy of that breath, that white light healing energy, into the hips and knees. It's calming, humbling posture, Balasana, child's pose.